Hello, good morning. My name is Tracy Laughlin.
You can turn that so you can face the court. It'll flip.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
I moved this. Anyway, I am a resident of Wildwood. I'm here to represent a part of Wildwood whose voice was not heard on October 12th of 2010. Okay. I have here the document that was shown, that was after October 12th, that was sent in from the gate to every resident of Wildwood as soon as they came into the gate. Basically, it states, all traffic laws apply to Wildwood. Due to changes in state law on September 1st, 2009, ATVs, mules, side-by-sides, etc. are prohibited from operating on roads and right-of-ways in Wildwood. Golf carts must be operated by a licensed driver. Golf carts operating at night must have lights on front and back of the golf cart. Okay? I'm here to say that I believe that Wildwood misrepresented when it comes to all state laws apply. Our board purposely misled our community when it came to what was signed on October 12th. They said it was a state law that was in effect as of September 2009. What they did not, and they being the board, did not make public was that they used an old 2002 petition that was signed by the boards in 2002. The board, reinstated that petition and made it effective as of October 12, 2010. The board asked all laws are to apply. What they failed to say is that they had a chance to pick and choose which laws could apply. They never excluded any law. So therefore, all laws apply in Wildwood. In the court order, they asked that all state laws apply and did not make any amendments. They, in fact, are trying to pick and choose which laws to apply. They purposely misled us with that handout. See Section 551.403, limited operation. Okay, it's A. An operator must operate a golf cart in number 1, a master planned community. A, that has in place a uniform set of restrictive covenants, and B, for which a community or municipality has approved a plat. 2, on a purpose or private beach, which we're not. Or 3, on a public highway for which the posted speed limit is more than 35 miles per hour if the golf cart is operated. A, during the daytime, and B, more than 2 miles from location where the golf cart is usually parked and for transportation to or from the golf course. Now, I can't find anywhere in court records that we are a municipality. Also, I don't know, I'm confused on which one are we using. A master plan community. I also am confused because I can't find anywhere we're a master plan community, no record on file. So I'm not sure which law that we're actually going by. At the last board meeting, there was an uproar in the community wondering why we did not vote on such an important action. We feel our board members went to the Commissioners Court and did not represent the community in a whole. Okay, when our community goes to a board meeting, and when our community members, we went to the board meeting, wanted to ask questions on this matter. They said it was just the law, and then were basically told that take it up with Austin. We were told, basically that the subject is mute and we could not talk about the subject. We are asking that you rescind this order, and we as a community should have the say, or just in over a week, we have over 25% of signatures without going door to door. We did not go door to door, it came to us. In our 2011 budget, we have 605 residents, okay? And 25% of that is 151. And we have 160 legal signatures. There's some husband and wives that wanted to count. It's one per household is what we did, okay? At the moment, now, this is just in 1 week, we're having a lot more people coming to us wanting to sign, okay? This number grows each day the word spreads, and it's happened in our what has happened in our community. It is clear that we would have had a vote that this would not have passed, and it's not what the community in the whole wants. Only a certain vote if you wanted this order. Let's see. you know, basically, this could have been a compromise within the community. You know, there's a lot of families that lived in Wildwood, and it's not just young families. We can't make the board meetings, you know, and when it came to the board meetings, we didn't know until after the fact. We're just asking, we've got the petition signed by all these people, and we're asking that you also hear our voices, and we're asking that this be rescinded.
Miss Simmons, is that?
No, I'm Miss Laughlin.
Okay, okay. I remember, I don't know who it was that brought this before us originally, but I remember asking this person, how did the public out there feel about it? And he said, hey, well, everybody was for it. I remember that specific, because I was dubious about this to start with. And I asked if everybody's for it.
No, sir. I can show you we're not. I mean, we're wanting a compromise. And we as a community, that's all it would have taken was a compromise. There are a lot of good suggestions out there, and I think we as a community could have actually handled this if we were given that right.
I also asked a lot of questions that day because, like Bobby, we were concerned, but my concern was, one, what the feelings of the people were, but also what the authority was of the group that was petitioning us. And am I wrong that they're the board of directors and they are the governing body of the Wildwood Property Owners Association?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. They were the president.
And that is the reason that the court acted. We acted upon, because I was very interested to know, did they represent a governing body? Because this is what the court responded to. Now, and I've heard everything that you said here, and I agree with most of what you said, except one thing. Y'all do have a way to cure the problem. I don't think this court, I'm speaking and I see our county attorneys back there, and I'm glad. I do not think this court can just rescind that action based upon a public outcry or a petition, because we responded to a governing body. But I do think that you, as the people, y'all have recourse, and that is to change the governing body. Am I right?
But on here, though, if we would have done this properly, I believe that it would have been the other way.
Well, and I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying from a commissioner's court, whether it was done properly or not done properly, we responded to the governing body of that community.
Okay.
And I think since we responded to the governing body of that community, I don't think we can just simply turn around and rescind something that involved the governing body. And I'd like to hear Rebecca's thoughts on it if she has had time to think about it. Maybe she hasn't.
I actually have. I've had some communications with, I believe, the group that Tracy is here representing this morning. The particular section of Transportation Code that allowed the Board of Directors to come in here on actually offers two choices. Either the Board of Directors can come in and request it from the Commissioners Court, or they can get 25% of the community members to sign off on a petition, and they chose to do it their route, which was the Board of Directors. But I did speak to a gentleman named Mr. Nash. He called and wanted some advice, and I really told him I didn't think that I was the person to give them advice, but thought that if they wanted to do it properly, I did not think they could use that same code section to come in and change what has already been done, because what was done was proper, but that they needed to seek outside counsel in order to go about, satisfying themselves. And it's my understanding that somebody has contacted an attorney, because I spoke with a gentleman last week in person who indicated that some of the community members had consulted with him. So, I think that there are routes that they can do what they want to do, but I don't necessarily think, and I've expressed that.
Yeah, okay. That's my feeling, that they do have a route that they can change this. And I agree, you cannot give them advice, you're the county's attorney. But I think if they get outside counsel, that this can be changed and be changed in the proper way, and then the court can make the proper decision. I do not believe the court can simply rescind this since we responded to a governing body.
Can I ask which section of that are we applying these laws to? I mean, we haven't been able to ask our board members, we're trying to, basically, we're getting tickets out there, little kids, 8-year-old on a little bitty electric scooter, people are being ticketed for not having their driver's license as an adult while they're driving on the golf cart.
If you can't get any answers from your board members and you've got a problem there,
I agree.
that's your problem. That's not ours.
Okay.
But when you ask the question, what, I would assume that our sheriff's department, whoever is.
Well, we get two different, Ed Kane says one thing, and then the hired sheriff that we have actually will say another thing, but we're getting conflicting, and that's the whole community, is one person will say this, and this interpretive law is totally different in one place than another.
And I don't think the Commissioners Court can, because we agree to certain things, but then they're enforced by the Sheriff's Department. And of course, I'm just looking, I would assume that they're applying the transportation code that's referenced in the agreed order that the court did.
Tracy, as long as, see, I was in law enforcement for 30 years, and I understand some of this. As long as you've got a guard gate out there, and as long as those streets are not being maintained by the county, it's questionable. It could go either, I was told when I was with DPS, the only time for me to go in there is if they had a wreck. So when I worked the wreck and get out of there.
Well, we're paying on top of everything, we're paying the sheriff to actually come in and patrol and enforce rules, and they're enforcing rules that they're told to enforce.
It's going to take a judge or attorney's opinion.
I just hate that our board just did not listen to us and came up upon themselves. And let me ask one more question, and then I'll kind of wrap it up. I'm looking on subchapter E, County Traffic Regulations. If you go to section 251.152, it also states a public hearing is required. A public hearing required, A, except as provided by section 251.159, before the Commissioners Court may issue a traffic regulation under this subchapter, the Commissioners Court must hold a public hearing on the proposed regulation. Was that actually held?
We held a public hearing, I believe, didn't we?
Was it in 2002? I mean,
did we hold one the day of this?
I don't know.
Oh, ma'am, I was thinking we had one at 9:45 for citizen input, but maybe we didn't. And it may be that there's a technicality that your counsel can point you to that will be grounds for overturning what this Commissioners Court has done.
we just found out after this was done, a little too late, So I thank you for listening to me. Thank you so much.
Y'all have a tremendous community out there.
We do.
And this an overall picture should be handled on a local level. That's where it should be handled totally. It shouldn't be coming out of that community. That community should be making those decisions themselves. And I don't know how you're going to resolve it, but there's got to be leadership enough to settle down and let people talk and resolve this issue. And keep what you got going out there. Keep people working together.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep, we have to compromise. You got this, side that's retirement community, and you got this side that keeps continuing to grow, that's a family, working class family. And me personally, I moved out there. I enjoy the lake. I enjoy being able to go to the country store and get an ice cream cone. I enjoy going to Picnic Island. And not only that, my kids actually, I have a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. They actually enjoyed that. That doesn't have a driver's license. She's a 17-year-old that doesn't have a driver's license. But yet she still can't go to the country store. We live 5 miles away from her. My daughter is 13-year-old. Lives 5 miles away from her friend. She's now riding a bike and going 10 miles to and from. And then she stopped at the country store, and now her bike got ran over at the country store. So there's some, we've lost a lot of the appeal when it comes to the families, and I believe that I'm a responsible parent, and I think that this should have been handled in a different way.
Well, I believe this whole